More major news tonight. The penalty phase is underway in the Boston Marathon bombings trial.
One day after the 119th running of the marathon, the death penalty case of surviving bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev got underway in federal court. Prosecutors outlined why they believe Tsarnaev should be put to death, and we heard emotional testimony from the family of one of the women killed in the attack. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner is live outside federal court in Boston with the latest developments.
Mike Shannon, good evening. The government in its penalty phase opening statement showed jurors a never-before-seen photo from a surveillance camera depicting Dzhokhar Tsarnaev on the day of his arraignment just 3 months after the bombings. He was in holding here at federal court, and the picture apparently shows Tsarnaev giving the middle finger to that camera. The photo is not being publicly released at this point, but prosecutors say it is just one example of his lack of remorse. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev was and is unrepentant, uncaring, and untouched by the sorrow he has created. Prosecutor Nadine Pellegrini opening the crucial penalty phase of this trial, one day removed from the 119th Boston Marathon. The U.S. government underscoring depravity, substantial premeditation, and planning, displaying poster-sized images of the deceased, vital, happy, normal. He simply is callous and indifferent to human life. It's his character that makes the death penalty appropriate and just. Pellegrini told jurors Tsarnaev's victims had time to feel pain, fear, but had no time to say goodbye. Crystal Campbell couldn't hug her dad, William Jr., as she did every day before leaving the house. She was the light of my life. I called her princess because that's what she was. She was the perfect young lady. I was very lucky. At the hospital, the Campbells were told Crystal was going to be okay, but might lose a leg. Do whatever you can to save my baby, William pleaded, before seeing it wasn't Crystal, but someone else. I passed out on the floor. Also on the stand today, Celeste Corcoran, who lost both legs in the bombing. She has family in Warwick. Now, the defense did not present an opening statement and will not until that phase of this final trial portion begins, and the judge hopes that gets underway on Monday, the defense case. Mike and Shannon.
Jared, Massachusetts doesn't impose the death penalty, but capital punishment can come with federal charges in this case. Is that causing any controversy outside of the courtroom?
Well, good question, Mike. We saw a group here that's actually grown in size. It's an anti-death penalty contingent. They've been here in days past, but again, it seems like the number has grown, and they had various signs today. And you know, 2 weeks ago, before the verdict came down, they were handing out a statement from Cardinal Sean O'Malley and the Roman Catholic bishops of Massachusetts, reiterating the church's position on the death penalty. And we have seen in the past a gentleman who is pro-death penalty, who holds a sign of his own, who has an American flag bandana, but I did not see him here today, although coming up at 6, we're going to talk to the group that was here on the other side of the aisle. Live in Boston with the Mobile Newsroom tonight, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.
And now the Boston Marathon bombings trial. The prosecution began its case today, calling several survivors of the attack to the stand.
One by one, they recall the horror of the pain they suffered fighting for their lives and realizing their loved ones were waging those same battles. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner joins us now live from Boston with reaction from protesters outside the courthouse, new at 6.
Mike Shannon, good evening. An irreversible punishment has hung over this case from the very beginning. And now, at least legally, it's what this trial phase is all about. As more survivors and victims of the deceased took the stand, there were those outside who said this is the wrong path to be going down. Anti-death penalty activists returning to Boston federal court for the start of the penalty phase in U.S. v. Tsarnaev, and in significant number Monday, signs in hand. Death penalty is murder. Capital punishment dehumanizes us all. There was no pro-contingent outside the Moakley Monday.
You are re-traumatizing Boston. You're re-traumatizing the victims. They don't deserve that.
That's echoing an argument made by the parents of Martin Richard last week. They called on prosecutors to drop the death penalty and the years of appeals it carries. The government is moving forward. But for all the families who want life imprisonment, there are others who believe Dzhokhar Tsarnaev does not deserve to walk this earth, and there is no time constraint on that fate.
We're all aware of the people who died and the people who lost limbs and the people who will carry this for the rest of their lives. We absolutely are with them, but we don't see that killing another person is going to be the solution to this.
And the defense's presentation of evidence, or presentation this penalty phase, which will be considered evidence, is set to begin one Monday from now. In Boston with the Mobile Newsroom tonight, I'm Jared Pleiter, Eyewitness News.